Two of the diagnostic tools needed for this 4G white with blue voltage regulator are a 75 to 100 amp inexpensive battery load meter and also an ordinary test light. The 3G and 4G plugs are the same. This one has alligator clips attached to the ends. Place the red clamp from the battery load tester on the hot post on the alternator. Place the ground clamp from the battery load tester on a good body ground or on the frame of the alternator. Throw the load switch on the tester. Readings between 8 and 9 volts would be considered normal. Anything below 8 volts would be considered a defective or partially defective fuse link or bus fuse. To unplug the voltage regulator, stick a pocket screwdriver behind the tab and pry up. Looking down at the plug with the clip on the left hand side, this pin is the one we're interested in. That should be battery voltage at all times. If these conditions are met and a charging problem is still present, then the alternator should be removed for inspection. Now we're going to show you how to hotwire the alternator for an ignition system bypass. Leave the battery cable on the alternator but unplug the voltage regulator. Plug the test harness in and run the middle wire, the white wire, to ground. The other two wires are ignored. After you start the car and start running your test, the voltage set point will be approximately 1 volt lower than what you're accustomed to seeing. This is irrelevant. Place the inductive amp probe over the wire coming out of the back of the alternator. Start the car and let it idle at lower RPMs while observing the amp meter for dips or cutouts. This test should be performed at first to a fully charged battery. Then, 5 minutes into the test, various loads such as headlamps or AC can be applied to add stress to the field circuit. We're going to show you how an alternator that passes the amperage test performs. There are no fluctuations or drop-offs in the amp meter as various loads are applied. Notice the static volts is at 12.6 to start the test. The 6 to 7 amp field current draw is the white wire being hooked up to ground.